One here, there, and the trombone, which is Wycliffe Golden, should be right where I'm standing, about exactly between 9:30, 10 o'clock right here. So let's see. Get that image.
I don't know. I'm gonna ask.
So with this, by the way, those of you who came in, this is a technology for that will allow your brain to get the cues, spatial cues in regular stereo, to locate the instruments where they were in three-dimensional space and not where the speakers are. So you hear musicians appear. So I just explained to this gentleman that you should be hearing the trombone right here because it was recorded where the microphones were, where his head is located, and the trombone is where I'm located. So start with the.
Ain't gonna study war no more. Study war.
All right, I'm gonna record after when I get in the sweet spot.
If you want to step back from there, you just move it. You leave the sweet spot there and you move back, and you step 5-10 rows every time you go back. But if you stay in the sweet spot, you're going to hear exactly where the microphones were. So, and if you go, the other interesting thing is that when we did the calibration, the speakers happen to be in the regular position, but they don't have to be. One speaker can be there, one speaker can be here. You get exactly the same image. We have customers who have speakers touching each other at 12 o'clock. This demonstrates that it's not about the speaker's location. It's about the signal, the spatial cues of this inside the stereo signal contain enough spatial cues for your brain to locate sound in 3D. These get corrupted by crosstalk, which we are removing. This box, which we built by hand in Princeton, New Jersey, all it does, it removes it. It's the result of many, more than 14 years of research, but it does remove something. It doesn't add anything. It removes something called crosstalk, which I can explain. And then your brain does the rest. So when Jason heard the trombone here, it's not because we're moving the trombone, because the recording, this kind of recording, which is played from Divo, has that information, and his brain now can put it right there.
So you can have one of those speakers in the corner that way, another one over here, and once the calibration's run,
it's same exact image. As long as the same you're not exchanging the reflections.
Right.
So if the room is very well treated, it doesn't matter where you put it. But if by changing the location of the speakers, you happen to be changing also the ratio of direct to reflected sound, the imaging would change. Oh, that's wrong.
Let me ask you real quick, because I'm definitely probably gonna get this, but can you walk through the calibration part? Like, what does that entail?
Yeah, you came a couple of minutes late, but I'm sorry, very simply. And so we asked Jason to be a good sport and put the two microphones in his ears right here. These two microphones. These are we also made by hand.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, the last 5 of the binaural plus records by David Chesky were recorded by this.
Okay.
2 of them won Best Records of the Year. So these are very special microphones. The gentleman who makes them is right around here, Kyle. He works for Theoretica for us. And we make these and sell them for recording engineers institutes, but they ship with the BacchSP.
Okay.
So you can put them in your ears, and you stand in front of this camera. If you don't want to use the camera, it's perfectly fine, but you just cannot move your head anymore too much from the left and right in the sweet spot. So if you sit in the sweet spot, you put the microphones in. You go to this page on the web on this iPad, make filter. You click on arms, and you click on fire, and you'll hear this sweep from 20 hertz to 48 kilohertz. And this is recorded at the interest of Jason's ear canals.
Okay.
And that is all the information you need acoustically to design what's called crosstalk cancellation filter. It contains all the information about this chain, the cables, the speaker, the preamp, but most importantly about the room, Jason's torso, head, and beautiful pinup is
okay.
The outer ears he has, and that's important because that's how the sound is diffracts around the pinup.
Yeah.
And that information allows us to design crosstalk cancellation filter, which is detailed and patented, and they are now in textbooks. So you can.
So it's basically 2 mics in your ear.
That's right.
And so you take out the head shadow effect on top of that.
Sorry?
You're basically also eliminating head shadow effect when people have a single mic that does that frequency sweep. You don't take that into account.
Yeah.
But
this is a binaural recording.
Yeah, that's really good.
Both ears.
Nobody actually does it that way.
Yes, that's right.
Now, the speakers don't have to be these either.
No. Any speakers. As a matter of fact, our dealer happens to be David Jansen
Mm-hmm.
in Ohio, so we picked up with him. He gave us the speakers, but what we used all kinds of speakers at shows.
Will you work with like Martin Logan's?
Yes, actually, I use in my listening room. I have something very much like Martin Logan's. They're called Sanders. He actually worked for Martin Logan. They are hybrid speakers, but you can actually. Last time I met Jason, he had wonderful horns. What were they? Clips.
Jubilees.
Yes, they're pretty spectacular. And horns are ideal because horns are take the room out. They're really directed. So they're less reflective. The key to get the high ratio of direct to reflected sound.
Right, exactly.
Exactly. So the gentleman knows a lot about acoustics. I'm impressed.
No, it's just that I had bought one of those Carver C9s about 30 years ago,
yeah.
so I know
That's the great grandfather of this technology.
Yeah, right. As I said, this was about
That's right.
30 years ago.
Exactly. So
You
this
guys
is
got the technology
yeah.
proven. Because that C9, it works
When the
amazingly with like certain tracks.
Certain tracks, and also if you move your head tiny bit, it's gone. Third, if you listen carefully, the center image is very colored.
Yeah, you're right.
So we
I
have
have to
patterns, for example, on the center, on the completely colorless crossbar cancellation.
Yeah.
That's what the box stands for.
Yeah.
But let's play some music for Jason because we.